Hey guys, it's Ramona Puma, and I have got a video all about the period cup. Dun dun dun! And this is what a period cup looks like. It's probably smaller than my hand. It is definitely smaller than my hand. And this goes up the JJ, and it is there to collect blood. Now this video is all about why I prefer period cups to a tampon, a sanitary towel, or nothing at all, I guess. One reason why I love period cups is that I don't have to keep rebuying loads of sanitary products like tampons and sanitary towels again and again. So I've actually saved so much money. This cost me, I think, £21, and I bought this 3 years ago. I don't know what the prices anymore, and the brand that I got is called Moon Cup, and it's actually made in the UK. A bit more about the period cup. It is made out of 100% medically graded silicone, and so it is fine to place it up there in your very intimate part. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies only. So with the brand that I bought, Moon Cup, I bought it from Boots, but there are so many in every health store nowadays. So go anywhere, or even Amazon, eBay, wherever. It's just there to purchase. The Moon Cup one had two sizes. They had A and B. A was for people who haven't had children. That was me. I don't have any children, so I bought that one. And then there's B for women that have had children. I'm guessing that one's a little bit bigger because your vagina does stretch out when you have a baby, because that baby's coming down from there. Unless you have a C-section, I guess. Yeah, so there is that option. Second reason is that it's actually, if you have a look, so this is what happens. You put it up there, it collects the blood. It doesn't hold on to the blood. It doesn't absorb the blood, so that you are, you're still kind of having contact with it. And like a sanitary towel and like tampons, it doesn't absorb, so that the blood is actually still there, and so all of your tissue area has contact with the blood that's being absorbed again and again and again all day long. And that, my friends, can lead to toxic shock syndrome, and it's really scary. I recently found out about a model called Lauren Weiser. I think that's her name. I put a link down below about her story, where she had such a heavy bleed that she left her tampon on for a lot longer, I think. And then next thing you know, during the night time, she felt really ill, and she had to be administered into hospital and was diagnosed with toxic shock syndrome. And that ultimately led to the amputation of one of her legs, because the infection just completely took away her leg, so they had to amputate it. And because her legs became a bit uneven, I think she eventually had to cut off the other leg, so she's lost 2 legs because of toxic shock syndrome. And it's really scary, and it's more likely to be caused with tampons. I've heard some research saying that even with period cups, possibly there could be some toxic shock syndrome, but it was all just lab-based. It's not human-based, nobody really knows. But I'd rather have my blood be collected in a cup rather than have that absorbed tampon be in contact with my, let's say vajayjay wall all day long, and it's just, it's freaky. And another thing why I love period cups is that it doesn't land up in the landfill time and again, month after month, and the landfill just gets increasing, and so it's just I really try to cut down on my waste product, and one of the ways that I do that is with this period cup. Less waste equals you're trying to do better for the environment, for our planet. Climate change is here, and it's not gonna stop unless we do our little bit. And so by wearing a period cup, you're not letting more things end up in the landfill, and so it's really, really good. You know, I'm a very big environmentalist. One of the reasons why I am vegan, it's so important to try to cut down as much as you can. And yeah, you can even do that with a period cup. Even if it's not the reason why you're choosing a moon cup, that's another great example why you should use a moon cup. For those of you who've never ever used a moon cup or a period cup and want to go on to doing it, if you haven't tried tampons, then don't even try the moon cup. I really would suggest you get comfortable with trying on tampons first and see how that goes, because it's an invasive thing. So this is how I use my moon cup or period cup every time my period comes around. I make sure I give it a nice wash. It's already sterile. I always sterilize it after every period cycle that I have. When you first buy it, they also tell you to sterilize it, so you just boil it in water for about 10 to 15 minutes, however you like, and that's it really. Give it a nice wash. You squeeze it, so you can either squeeze it like so, you squeeze it there, like that, bam, that's how you put it, and then you shove it up. Or my favorite folding method is you have it squeeze like that. So it's this tiny little piece, and you go into the bathroom, then you lift your leg up or you squat, however you like, and
you literally just slowly find the hole, pretend like this is the hole, this is the hole, okay, and then you just squeeze it up.
One tip that I would definitely suggest is you can actually move your muscles down there, so you just push it up a bit, and you'll understand when you actually do it. You kind of pull up your muscles, and then it actually helps to push it a bit more, and then there are tiny holes all around it, and so when you push it up and you let go, the air gets filled up into the tiny holes, and then it's just kind of like a suction. It suctions up there and it stays there, and there you go. And this is your vajayjay with a moon cup, and then the blood just collects there every month. There's this little nifty thing. It was actually this long when I first bought it, and you can cut it and customize it to however comfortable you feel. When I first got it, it was, you know, protruding out a lot more, and it was really uncomfortable when I was just walking around, so I cut it a bit more shorter. This little handy thing is just there for when you need to take it out. So you put your finger there, you kind of pull it out a bit more, because as the day goes on and the hours go by, your moon cup tends to go a bit higher up, but it will never get lost. It's not one of those things that it can just shoot all the way into your body. It does stay in place. So yeah, you will find it, and then all you have to do is just squeeze a little bit and the air comes out, and you just pull it out like that, and the blood will be there collected. This one actually has measurements, so there's 6 ml, 12 ml, you know, however much, and even if you're on a heavy period, it will still do a good job. You just have to empty it a bit more regularly. So for changing it, all I have to do is I change it every couple of hours, so it depends. If it's a really heavy day, probably 6 hours tops. If it's less heavy, maybe I'll go for 10 hours, and I literally just take it out, put it down the toilet, give it a wash. If there's no water near you, you can just use your tissue and rub it, and then just put it up and then wash your hands in the sink. You know. Those are my little tips and tricks on how to put on a period cup. If you guys have any questions about it at all, please ask me on the comments. I am more than happy to answer. I had one friend of mine ask me, you know, questions about it, and I loved it because it shows that we are not afraid to talk about these subjects, because people might think, oh god, I don't want to be talking about, you know, my period and the things that I utilize. You know, let's be more open, let's have a conversation. It's not a big deal. We have to be comfortable with ourselves and just talk about these things like it's no big deal, and people won't think of it as such a big issue. You know, it's just an everyday thing that we all go through every once a month. So it's there and it's not gonna go away, so let's all have a conversation and just deal with it and have opinions. So yeah, that is why I love my period cup. You have to be a bit more open for experimenting with this, I think. I personally was just gonna go all for it because I really didn't want to have to keep using tampons and sanitary towels and having to waste my money, so I really went for it and I embraced it. And if you're gonna embrace it, I'm sure the period cup will embrace you back. So I really hope that I've convinced some of you guys to try it, and let me know how you get on. And that's all for now. More taboo and weird, wonderful topics videos coming soon.